Now, for my talk time topic. If anyone's paid attention to the recent events in this country, Charlottesville, South Carolina, some shit has gone down.
Oh, Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah. Virginia?
Oh, never mind. Sorry. Wrong state. I was thinking there is a Charlottesville, South Carolina.
Right, there is.
I was just nodding my head.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking. Sorry.
Not a great start. Not a great start to
That's on me. That's on me. I was just...
Yeah, I'll blame Nick. Anyway.
There's no quality control.
So, obviously, the most basic summary is that a lot of KKK members, neo-Nazis, white nationalists joined what was originally just people protesting the removal of a Confederate statue that belonged to Robert E. Lee, who was a Confederate general. Which maybe they were going to be peaceful protests without all the nationalists and the racist occupants that followed them. So to oppose that were all the people protesting them. Everything went really, really bad. A woman died because a nationalist from Ohio, ran her over with his car. And everyone's thinking, well, not everyone's thinking. I mean, a lot of this shit keeps happening, right? Which is the problem. The big controversy is obviously our president, who at this point in time has said that there's a lot of blame on both sides. Everyone could take their opinion on that statement. It takes a lot of guts to call out people protesting Nazis and white nationalists and KKK members. Yeah. But the question I want to pose after all of this, and it's inspired from a podcast and a guy I've listened to for many years. Kevin's familiar, Colin. I'm kind of funny. He's one of the reasons why I wanted to start doing all this foreplay stuff. And just for background for Mike and Nick, because you guys don't really follow him at all, and 99% of the people probably that listen to this anyway, the few people that do, don't know who he is. He left a kind of funny games group to go start talking about politics and history because that's where his passion really was. And he gets a lot of shit on the internet. A lot of people like to attack him for no real reason. He just says it like he thinks he is. I think he's almost always justified. There's never really been a point. So it shows Colin's Last Stand. You can check that out. But the video he posed this week after everything that happened was that we should not be praising the removal and destruction of Confederate statues and art by people opposing those beliefs. So basically, I don't have the full facts. I should have came fully prepared. But I believe in South Carolina was the thing. There's a video out there of people who were protesting all the Charlottesville stuff and Virginia. Just basically, in Virginia. They were protesting that all these Confederate statues should be gone and erased. So a group of people went to this statue where I don't really remember. I should have that. And they tore it down. So obviously illegally. They destroyed an art statue in the town. And there's video of just a bunch of people spitting on it, kicking it, and destroying it. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on that. So would you like to chime in first, Mike? Go ahead.
Who's the idiot that kicks a statue?
Yeah, that doesn't end.
Fair point.
That doesn't end.
You're not accomplishing much.
But
now, I don't think we need.
Okay. I'm ready.
I don't think we need all. I don't want to pose all the facts because then I feel like it gives us more now. And we're gonna preface this with, are any of us too in tune with everything that's going on? Really, unfortunately, like
the information
we don't know all the facts about everything.
Yeah,
that's obvious.
The information you presented is more or less what the general population would know. Probably even more. Honestly, probably more than the general population would know. Sadly, so that's about my knowledge of it.
Okay. So without getting into too specifics, it's basically the topic is destroying Confederate statues and thing with bad history. Okay.
No. I mean, I think there's a place for that stuff in like a museum,
exactly,
and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's
I heard of them like tearing like people also tearing down like other statues. Like, to be honest, I don't even understand why there's a Robert E. Lee statue to begin with.
Yeah,
that doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
But
and it's
I can give you a few
stuff,
reasons.
Yeah, it's stuff that sprung up in the early 1900s. I want to say
Crow
1920.
era.
Don't quote me. Yeah, but it's a statue that existed from then because there was a lot of pride in the South giving their history and heritage. So that's why that statue, and it's basically just existed till this point.
There was a lot of growing rights for African Americans, and that was the rise against that to ensure white superiority.
Yeah.
There were a lot of statues built in that time period specifically because of it. There were also a lot of monuments erected during the 1960s because of this.
Yeah.
So that
and
is part
it
of the
just
reason.
pretty much existed to this point.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't really have a strong stance on it, and I didn't think about it in the way until the video I pointed out earlier explained it. But I think it's really fucking horrible for people that oppose all of these beliefs, which obviously fuck all these neo-Nazis in our country, fuck all the white supremacists and all these fucking white nationalists. Shut the fuck up. Stop doing all the shit you're doing. But the people that oppose them, like I believe myself, you're not accomplishing anything by destroying these fucking Confederate statues and these monuments. Oppose them, yes, go ahead. Mm-hmm. I'm on that team. Should they be sprung up in the middle of the town? I don't think so. Destroyed, to me, that's not the solution. We need to keep this shit. Put it away. Put it in a fucking like hidden museum, a warehouse, anywhere. But what the fuck does destroying history accomplish?
It's easier. So go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
What is a hidden museum?
Just basically a warehouse. But I felt like that would do it disjustice. But yes,
no, I agree. It should go in a museum. It shouldn't be destroyed. But at the same time, who are we to be able to say that it shouldn't be destroyed when it's not a symbol of our oppression? You know, who are we to say? Like, would you say that Jewish people would be being wrong if they tore down the walls of Auschwitz? Could you say logically that that would be wrong of them? I mean, we should keep those things. In fact, the Russians were destroying concentration camps because of the terrible inhumanities that were occurring. But Americans were like, no, we need this to show people. Like, there will be people that doubt that this happened.
Yeah, no,
we need proof.
There needs to be something that you can
physical
proof that and stuff that because like everything's based on learning from
the past
things that have happened and
right.
And I completely agree with that.
But like, there's a statue like memorializing a person that was for the oppression.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's a different conversation than really what I'm bringing up. The conversation, should they be allowed to exist in the town? I don't think so. I think
of course, we all agree on that.
Why are we publicizing this figure who has loaded history so wrong? I'm holding back information from the main of my topic because I want opinions first before I prime you guys with other thoughts. But the main focus is like destroying these things, removing them from our history, which we're going on almost 100 years at this point, and removing these statues.
Well, I mean, you get so frustrated with shit, people just don't know what to do anymore.
That's the thing. Like, I logically think it's best to keep it preserved, but I don't inherently think it's morally wrong for the people that felt oppressed by those things to destroy those things. You know what I'm saying?
And I understand.
Like,
what
I still
you're saying,
think the better idea is to
and
not destroy it, but it's not wrong that they're destroying it.
I'm not saying that the train of thought makes sense, obviously, but what does it accomplish in the long run? It's the short-term solution to your anger and to your problems.
It's not necessarily solely short. Definitely, there is short-term gratification. It's not also solely short-term. Now, it can be long-term.
And now some of the information I'm going to bring to light now on the topic, before I reveal more as we go on, is the analogy that he brought, which really fucking hit me too with these things, is that he more or less compared the actions of these people who are tearing down Confederate statues, opposing them and destroying our art history, to one of ISIS's big goals, which, if you're not aware, one of ISIS's big goals, or not goals, I want to say, but one of the things that they do is go into history's museums and start destroying ancient artifacts. There's a whole fucking science. There's millions of news articles from all the various outlets on it. But they go into these things and destroy any religious, historic artifact that opposes what their beliefs are, if that's what that artifact's around.
Yes.
And they just go around and destroy this history from hundreds, thousands of years ago. And That when that comparison was made to ISIS, where all we hear is they're the fucking evil, and they obviously are.
Mhm.
But the fact that you're doing stuff that's similar to them really hit me in a way that I didn't really know how to.
That argument is still inherently flawed because you're comparing actions and not intentions. The reasoning behind ISIS's motives is likely very, very different than the reasons behind the people that want the Confederate statues gone. You know what I'm saying?
But what are their reasons?
I don't know what ISIS's reasons are.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what do you think?
To get rid of symbols of their oppression. You know, why would you, if you were an ancestor of a slave, or if you had families, you know, members or whatever that lived in that time that were, you know, oppressed by that group of people, and you live in a country that claims that you're an equal and free member, why would you want that symbol as an active part of your society? I mean, maybe it's not something you think about much, but it's still proudly displayed in town. Like, we're okay with this. You know, we're okay that this guy did these things and whatnot, and that or rather that he stands for the time period that did these things, and we okay that. And how would that make you feel? Imagine having a child.
Well, I have another counterpoint, but
yeah, no, of course.
Mike or Kevin, you have any thoughts before?
I mean,
It's different motives.
I can't sit here and say I've ever felt any sense
I
of
never
any
have,
type
yeah.
of oppression at all. So
Yeah.
I can't
We
relate
don't,
to anything
exactly.
that these people are feeling. I think a lot of it's reached an extreme at this point where it doesn't really.
It has.
Like, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it.
Mike? Well, this is the thing. So as you're saying, we've never felt that, and we're removing what these people stand for, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, and I didn't know about this, so this isn't me talking from the high force to try to one up you guys or counter everything you all
that's
say.
fine, that's fine.
I learned this. I just learned it before we said it on our own show. And like I said, I didn't think about it. So you're talking about us removing statues of what these oppressed actions in history stand for, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's right.
No, I'm just saying that's
Entirely.
the most right. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Prolific slave owners.
Absolutely, yeah, I know.
And we worship these people on our money every day.
Yeah.
We go to their houses, I can't think of it right now, Vernon. Rushmore. They're on Mount Rushmore.
Thank you,
George Washington's house, we talk about them every day as prolific heroes. However, they were all prolific slave owners.
And that's also inherently bad.
So this is what I'm saying, and what was brought up in this video to me that brought the knowledge to me. It's a fucking slippery slope if we start destroying artifacts in history of these Confederate people, where then the road keeps going, and the road keeps going. So we're going to destroy Mount Rushmore.
Well, no, there's
And
already people calling for they want to rename the capital.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Why is it Washington D.C.?
Yeah.
It's like it's
Because what did it stand for? That's what I'm saying. It's a slippery slope. So to me, you can't have it one way where, yes, it's okay to destroy the Confederate generals who fought for slavery, but the people fighting against them who had slaves, that's also okay.
No, I'm not saying that's okay.
And that's what I'm saying. To me, you can't have it one way or another. That's why I'm strongly against. Remove it from the fucking town. We don't need to publicize them. We don't need to give those fucking people any credit.
Mm-hmm.
But destroying it, to me, you're accomplishing nothing.
Well, again, that you keep saying the keywords "to me," and that right there leaves the argument at a standstill because, again, we can't justify the emotions and feelings of the class that is being oppressed or feeling oppressed from those moments in history. We can't say, to me, it doesn't feel like we're accomplishing anything because we're not the ones that are destroying the statues. We're not the ones that have motives to destroy the statues. So that's something we can't say for certain. You know, like I do agree it should be saved in a museum, but I also don't think it's wrong that people are.
I would like to know how it
that.
feels. Okay, you hop on this statue and you rip it to the ground, and now it's flattened on the ground. So how did you feel after that?
I'm sure there was a lot of satisfaction.
That's what I'm saying. It's the short term though.
Is it only
accomplishing
short term?
nothing.
I don't know. Definitely short term. There's definitely short term involved. Is it only short term? If it leads to change, if it gets other people to be like, all right, we don't want our statues destroyed, let's put them in the museum before that can happen.
And my problem with that is that in the most immediate example being the Charlottesville incident, it's the white nationalists, the neo-Nazis, white supremacists, largely against people who oppose them in the most general sense, right? So what are we doing if not just only fueling their fight by destroying the stuff that they're fighting for, which is inherently and unquestionably wrong.
It's not inherently and unquestionably wrong.
Their beliefs. That's
Sorry, we're on a different page.
Their
Yeah.
beliefs. We're just fueling their beliefs by destroying. Like we're not. That's what I'm saying. It's the short term where it's just we're fueling them and getting a short term gratification. If you're one of those people destroying an art history, if that's what you're trying to accomplish, the long term solution isn't there. And destroying history is not my thing. I'm someone who I've talked on the show before. I love my personal memories, and obviously I don't cut from the history of oppression and all of that. But we need to keep these things. Otherwise, in hundreds of years, people will question if they even existed at all if we don't have some of these things. For good or for bad.
For good or for bad. I mean,
because we can't change the past. So
I don't disagree entirely. I do disagree that destroying statues on their own would be the only thing that would fuel this level of white supremacy, this level of neo-Nazism, because we have had a surge in recent years with the Obama presidency and with the Trump administration on its own. Even without destroying anything, there's been a rise of white nationalism. Yeah. And that in itself is a problem. Nothing was even destroyed. So you can't say that this would be the thing that would fuel things. There's so many different factors that contribute to it all and all. And at the end of the day...
but my point is just giving them that much more fuel when it's...
But why do we care? Why should we care about their feelings, their emotions? Because at the end of the day, if we take away their power, then they have nothing but whatever they want to do in terms of rallies and nonsense, but they don't actually have that power. You know, right now they're seeing black people and other people of different races gain more equity in our nation. And they're like, no, like we want it to go back to the old way. We want it to go back to the 1960s.
It's fucking 2017. Get a grip.
I am with you. I am with you. But eventually we will get there. And eventually with each generation of people, there will be less and less people that share those beliefs over time. It won't be.
I think that's the hope,
effect.
But I feel like maybe just because we weren't in tune, but 10 years ago, granted I was only 13.
Yeah.
Do you remember really hearing about this kind of stuff in our country?
No.
I don't.
But we don't. We used to keep in
there.
mind people used to literally be lynched 60 years ago.
Yeah, which isn't nuts.
And we don't do that anymore. So we are improving. We're not there, but like the point I'm making is 200 years ago people were in chains.
Yeah.
100 years ago they couldn't vote. And they were getting killed. 60 years ago, they were getting killed. Now, for the most part, I mean, no one's getting lynched. Yeah. So we are nowhere near where we need to be. But with each generation, we are improving. We are starting to see more humanity within our fellow Americans. We are not there. We're not even close to being there. Heck, we still have huge discrepancies with women as well. But that's an argument for another podcast. Yeah. But we're not there yet in terms of equality. But we are getting better with each generation. I like to believe.
I'm fully supporting the defense against these people.
Absolutely.
All of them, you can all go fuck yourselves. I don't have any remorse for any of them. I just think there's better ways they can accomplish what they're trying to do. And destroying art, destroying history, it's not going to be the long term. I just feel like it fuels the fire in the wrong ways.
I think worthwhile.
I think you can combat the fire in better ways, which might fuel it, but to me, that's just fueling it. I don't think it's combating anything. Destroying history, I can't be for. Because like I said, it's a slippery slope, and you just it takes you all the way up.
But even with that slippery slope, is it better to not try and make amendments where you can versus just like, all right, you know what, I don't even want to touch it because it's too much of a problem? You know, is it better to do something and try than do nothing?
I think there's other routes. I don't think that's the only.
No, I'm not saying just destroy. Like obviously, I'm not. I'm even saying ideally we wouldn't destroy those things, but I'm not saying I blame the people that are destroying it for destroying it. That's what I'm saying, because they are getting rid of those symbols of their oppression. Maybe it's not a way that you agree in, but we're not the ones oppressed. Yeah. How can we say that they're doing it the wrong way?
It's easier from us.
Yeah,
we'll agree to disagree
again. Because would you tell Jews to not destroy Auschwitz? And if your answer to that would be no, then you can't say the same for this. I mean, I know some of the things that those people have gone through are very different, but they are.
My stance is going to be always, I've established now, just don't destroy history.
Regardless.
Can't tell anyone what to do or whatnot.
Who even makes a statue of a loser? The dude lost the war.
No, that's the best part. Like,
dude's a loser.
Yeah.
And
easy. Traitor. A literal traitor.
One of the biggest traitors ever, Robert E. Lee.
And yet people in the South that claim to be like huge Americans are also touting Confederate flags, which is completely contradictory. But again, another argument for another day.
Yeah.
that I would love to get into, but not today.
Mike, what is your take on the art perspective? Well, because you're the obvious artist of us both,
And
I
the
appreciate
scientist.
that. And the new scientist.
This is
true.
Trivial Pursuit, youtube.com/4playvideo.
This is true.
So what do you think about these people destroying?
Someone took the time to create something like that.
What obviously it doesn't stand for the right thing, but this was also made 80 years ago at this point.
Probably take a poop on the statue.
You would?
Fair.
Yeah.
Would you destroy it?
I don't know. This
It's a hard topic.
Yeah.
I have no decision on that.
Check. Kevin, you have any closing thoughts?
Everyone needs to
Are we-
everyone needs to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, amen to that.
Like I'm worried about like shit went down on Game of Thrones on Sunday.
Yeah.
How do people have the fucking time
I know.
to go out and
Racist.
do whatever the
and
hell they're
terrible.
doing?
That's
Between work, school,
everything.
fucking Game of Thrones. I have no time for any of
That's why
anything like
I
that.
wish, you have that superpower where you could see into someone's thoughts. How
How
do you even
reach that point?
conjure those thoughts?
Well, you have to also.
How do you have the
think,
energy
like,
to hate something that
these
much?
Yeah.
people, there's probably plenty of them that are so uneducated and just like blind following just because it's something to do.
That's true.
And there's thousands of them just because of that.
Yeah.
Well, more so now with the internet than anything.
Well, the scariest part about the internet is there's selective information. There can be 500 million articles on vaccines not causing autism, and people will search for the one rogue
So
article
start on
that says vaccines cause autism, and they'll use that as their proof. So,
Let's not start on that topic.
yeah, but it's the same idea. And I'm willing to bet a lot of these people also believes that vaccines cause autism. These white supremacist groups. I'm willing to put a higher percentage than most Americans.
We're going to button that serious
Yes,
topic.
yes.
Because my other topics are more enlightening. But it's obviously appropriate because it's been bothering me this week after I saw the one video I mentioned. You can get a beer. Give me a beer. I have an extra one. But I want to end on one quote, which I think is going to add a comical twist to the nonsense that's happened in this country. So you guys, everyone obviously at this point has seen the videos of the white nationalists and the KKK with their tiki torches.
Yes.
Has anyone yet here seen a comment that Tiki Torches put out?
I think so.
No, that sounds
they
Tiki
great
Torches-
already.
They actually put out a disclaimer.
Had to put a comment out because, Mike, you've seen these pictures, right? With the Tiki Torches.
Wait.
Yes.
I just wanted to say two things.
Okay, good.
Tina Fey had a part on SNL about this whole thing, and it's fucking amazing.
I
So
haven't
check
seen
that
it yet.
out.
I will check that out.
And then somebody on Reddit photoshopped a picture of all the white supremacists with the tiki torches with like 6 foot long dildos.
That's
And it's
fantastic.
fucking hilarious.
That's gold. So, to end the topic, this was the quote by Tiki Brand, which has 70 employees and is owned by Lamplight Farms of Wisconsin. They said its torches are intended for positive events, and I quote from them. Our products are designed to enhance backyard gatherings and to help family and friends connect with each other at home and in their yard, amongst other things. I just like the part, enhance backyard gatherings.
Not cult gatherings.
No.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You
That's
really,
great.
yeah,
I
you
wish
really
it's
know
the
it's
same
2017 when you have
Tiki Brand.
when you have Tiki Brand coming out and supporting the fight against
Fight against the
white
nationalists.
supremacists.
It's actually funny. Somebody on Reddit said, "I hope this doesn't become a new like Nazi symbol because I love my tiki torches."
I like that.
Oh
Thank you guys for watching or listening.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/4playvideo.
If you like what we're doing, make sure to smash that like button.
Be sure to share all our videos with your friends so we could continue to grow, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.